Pay attention to the woman in the red dress laughing in this cell phone video from a crowded office holiday party. She is 32-year-old Jennifer Martinez, HR director at TechCore Solutions, celebrating year-end bonuses with champagne in hand. The timestamp reads 9:52 p.m., December 8, 2023. In the background, near the doorway, a man in dark clothing watches her intently. Brandon Cole, the employee she fired 3 weeks ago. His jaw is clenched, his fists tight at his sides. She does not know it yet, but this is the last time she will be seen alive. December 10, 2023, Denver, Colorado. Jennifer Martinez had been missing for 38 hours. She had not shown up for her Monday morning staff meeting, her first absence in 8 years. Her assistant called her cell phone 7 times. Every call went straight to voicemail. Jennifer's car was found in the office parking garage at 10:47 a.m. Her purse was inside. Her phone was dead. Her keys were missing. Her fiancé, Michael Torres, reported her missing at 11 a.m. The last confirmed sighting was security footage showing her leaving the company holiday party at 11:47 p.m. Friday. By 3 p.m., the case was escalated to Detective Maria Santos of Denver PD Homicide. Jennifer Martinez was 32, the HR director at TechCore Solutions. She had worked there for 8 years, earning 3 promotions. She was engaged to Michael Torres, a high school teacher, planning a June 2024 wedding. Her sapphire engagement ring had been featured on her Instagram 2 weeks before she vanished. She was close with her family, her parents Rosa and Miguel, and 2 younger sisters. She video called her mother every Sunday without fail. Co-workers described Jennifer as professional and compassionate, even when delivering difficult news. She had recently handled several employee terminations due to restructuring. One was Brandon Cole. The day before the party, Jennifer approved his final termination paperwork. She had no idea he was planning to attend. She had no idea what he was capable of. Brandon Cole was 38, a former senior software engineer at TechCore. He had worked there for 6 years. He was fired on November 15, 2023, for performance issues and hostile behavior. Jennifer handled his termination personally. The exit interview became confrontational. Brandon raised his voice, accusing Jennifer of conspiring with management. When she calmly explained the concerns, he stood abruptly and leaned across the table. "You're going to regret this," he said, his voice threatening. "I gave everything to this company, everything, and you're throwing me away like garbage." Security had to escort him out. Jennifer documented the threat in his HR file, but no restraining order was filed. Legal determined there were insufficient grounds. Brandon's employee badge was supposed to be deactivated. Due to an IT oversight, it wasn't. After termination, Brandon's LinkedIn posts grew bitter. He wrote about corporate betrayal and HR destroying lives. Friends said he became obsessed, talking about it constantly, barely sleeping. He blamed Jennifer personally, not executives, not his own performance, just Jennifer. He had been unemployed for 3 weeks. His savings were running out, and his anger was growing. Detective Maria Santos began by reviewing security footage from the December 8th party. At 9:37 p.m., Brandon Cole enters the building through a side entrance using his employee badge. He's wearing dark jeans, a black jacket, and a baseball cap pulled low. For the next hour, Brandon lingers in hallways, staying out of sight. Footage shows him watching through doorway glass as Jennifer laughs with co-workers, raises her champagne glass. At 10:43 p.m., Brandon approaches Jennifer near the kitchen. The footage has no audio, but body language tells the story. Jennifer's smile fades when she sees him. She steps back. He steps forward. They exchange words. Brief, tense. Jennifer walks away, rejoining her coworkers. At 11:47 p.m., Jennifer leaves the party, walking alone toward the parking garage elevator. At 11:52 p.m., Brandon follows her. He stays 30 feet behind, hands in pockets, head down. 5 minutes later, only one will leave alive. Garage camera shows Jennifer reaching her Honda Accord at 11:54 p.m. She unlocks the door, tosses her purse inside. Then Brandon appears, walking directly toward her. They argue. Jennifer holds up her hands defensively. Brandon moves closer. At 11:56 p.m., the camera feed goes dark, a malfunction. At 12:03 a.m., the camera returns. Brandon's white Ford F-150 exits the garage at high speed. Jennifer's car remains in the same spot. Driver's door open, interior light on. She never left. On December 10th, Detective Santos and a forensic team processed Jennifer's car. No signs of struggle inside. Her phone was under the passenger seat, battery dead, keys missing. The red dress from the party was in the back seat. She had changed into gym clothes. Then, forensic team used luminol. Under UV light, concrete next to the driver's side door lit up. Blood splatter. More blood on a concrete pillar 6 feet away, at head height. Hair samples collected. Long, dark brown, matching Jennifer's. Fiber evidence recovered. Black synthetic fibers, consistent with rope. Security footage captured Brandon's license plate, Colorado DMK 8821. Traffic cameras tracked his truck leaving downtown at 12:09 a.m., heading west on I-70 toward the mountains. He was running, and if he was running, Jennifer wasn't just missing, she was dead. The question was, where had he taken her? Detective Santos obtained a warrant for Brandon's apartment. At 4:30 p.m. on December 10th, she entered. Brandon's roommate confirmed he hadn't come home Friday night. He returned Saturday morning around 4:00 a.m. acting strangely. He showered immediately, put his clothes in a trash bag, and left within 20 minutes. Traffic cameras confirmed Brandon's truck heading toward Rocky Mountain National Park. A BOLO was issued. Background check showed a restraining order filed against him in 2019 by ex-girlfriend Michelle Ramos. Detective Santos contacted Michelle. What she said was chilling. When things didn't go his way, Brandon couldn't let it go. He showed up at my work, my gym, my parents' house. He sent me 50 texts a day. He said if he couldn't have me, he'd make sure I regretted leaving him. He's dangerous when he feels rejected. On December 11th, Detective Santos obtained warrants for Brandon's phone records and financial transactions. GPS data painted a damning timeline. 11:54 p.m., December 8th, phone at TechCore Garage. 12:09 a.m., traveling west on I-70. 1:47 a.m., at St. Mary's Lake Trailhead, 78 miles west of Denver. 1:47 a.m. to 4:23 a.m., stationary for 2 hours, 36 minutes. 4:38 a.m., traveling back toward Denver. 5:52 a.m., at Brandon's apartment. Credit card records, December 7th, Home Depot purchase, $187.43, rope, blue tarp, folding shovel, duct tape, work gloves. December 8th, gas station, full tank. December 9th, gas station near his apartment. Brandon had purchased burial supplies the day before the party. This wasn't passion. This was premeditated murder. Officers executed a search warrant. Brandon was gone, but evidence told the story. Home Depot receipt in trash, gym clothes testing positive for Jennifer's blood, laptop with search history from December 6th. How to disable security cameras. How long until body decomposes in cold weather? Do police track phone GPS after arrest? Brandon wasn't just a murderer, he was a planner. December 12th, 6 a.m. Multi-agency search operation mobilized at St. Mary's Lake. Cadaver dogs and forensic teams converged on GPS coordinates. At 10:23 a.m., a cadaver dog named Ranger alerted on disturbed ground 40 yards from the trail. 22 inches below surface, they found a blue tarp, the same brand Brandon purchased. Inside was Jennifer Martinez, still wearing gym clothes from Friday night, hands bound with black rope, duct tape over her mouth, engagement ring still on her finger. Detective Santos called Jennifer's family at 2:15 p.m. Rosa Martinez screamed. Michael Torres collapsed. The autopsy was performed December 13th by Dr. Richard Yamamoto. Cause of death, asphyxiation due to manual strangulation. Deep ligature marks circled her neck. Hyoid bone fractured. Petechial hemorrhaging covered her eyes and face. Strangulation took 3 to 4 minutes. Jennifer was conscious for most of it. She knew she was dying. Defensive wounds covered both hands. Skin cells under her fingernails matched Brandon's DNA with 99.8% certainty. Blunt force trauma to back of head, struck against concrete pillar. Time of death, approximately 11:55 p.m. to 12:15 a.m. December 8th. Killed in garage, then transported to mountains. Toxicology, blood alcohol 0.03%, 1 drink. She was alert, aware, and terrified. On December 12th, arrest warrant issued for Brandon Cole for first-degree murder. His truck found abandoned in Boulder on December 13th. Security footage showed Brandon purchasing a Greyhound ticket to Phoenix under fake name David Miller. FBI alerted. Interstate flight charges added. December 15th, FBI received anonymous tip. Man matching Brandon's description at budget motel in Flagstaff, Arizona. FBI agents surrounded the Cactus Inn motel at 6:30 p.m. When agents knocked, Brandon attempted to flee through bathroom window but was apprehended. In his room, fake driver's license with name David Miller, $4,200 cash, hair dye, he'd attempted to bleach his hair blonde, and bus ticket to San Diego. Laptop contained searches dated December 6th. How long until missing person becomes murder investigation? States that don't extradite to Colorado. Can police track phone GPS without warrant? Brandon had been planning Jennifer's murder for at least 2 days before the party. He was extradited to Denver on December 16th. Brandon Cole was interrogated by Detective Santos on December 17th. He waived his right to remain silent. Brandon, tell me what happened on December 8th. I went to the party, I left, I went home. Did you see Jennifer? Yeah, I talked to her. She told me to leave, so I did. Detective Santos slid security footage across the table. Brandon following Jennifer into the garage. Brandon stared, silent. We have your GPS data. You were at St. Mary's Lake for over 2 hours. We found Jennifer's body there. We have her DNA under your fingernails, your DNA under hers. We have the rope and tarp you bought. We have your search history. We have her blood in your apartment. We have everything. Why did you kill her? Brandon was quiet for 7 minutes. Then he spoke, barely above a whisper. She destroyed my life. I worked there 6 years, and she fired me like I was nothing. So you killed her? I didn't plan it. I went to talk to her, to make her understand. But she wouldn't listen. She told me I needed to leave or she'd call security. You followed her to the garage. I just wanted her to listen. She was getting in her car. I grabbed her arm. She screamed. I panicked. I put my hand over her mouth. She fought back, scratched my face. We fell backward. She hit her head on the concrete pillar. And then she was dazed, bleeding, but still conscious, trying to get away. I thought, if I let her go, she'll call police. She'll ruin what's left of my life. So I put my hands around her throat. I squeezed. She kept trying to pull my hands off. I just squeezed until she stopped moving. How long? I don't know. A few minutes. It felt like forever. What did you do after? I panicked. I had rope and tarp in my truck. I wrapped her up, put her in the truck bed, drove to the mountains. I buried her and came home. Do you regret it? Brandon looked up, eyes empty. I regret getting caught. The state of Colorado versus Brandon Michael Cole began June 3, 2024. Judge Patricia Brennan presided. Prosecution argued first-degree murder with premeditation. Home Depot purchases, internet searches, planning, all pointed to intent. Defense argued second-degree murder, claiming the killing was unplanned. Building security guard David Chen testified. Brandon's badge was supposed to be deactivated. Someone in IT missed it. If we'd caught that, Jennifer might still be alive. Jennifer's assistant, Rebecca Kim, testified. Jennifer mentioned the termination made her uncomfortable. She said he took it very personally. Brandon's roommate, Eric Simmons, testified. The day she fired him, Brandon came home furious. He said, "That bitch is going to pay for this." I thought he meant a lawsuit. Dr. Richard Yamamoto testified, strangulation took 3 to 4 minutes. That's sustained, deliberate force with intent to kill. Ms. Martinez was conscious and aware for most of it. Michael Torres testified through tears. We were supposed to get married. Brandon stole everything because he couldn't handle being fired for legitimate reasons. Prosecution played parking garage footage. Jury watched Jennifer walk to her car, watched Brandon follow her. Then they played his confession. The jury heard him admit he strangled Jennifer while she fought for her life. Several jurors were visibly emotional. Jury deliberated 8 hours, 14 minutes. On June 28, 2024, at 2:37 p.m., they returned with verdict. Jennifer's family sat in the front row. Has the jury reached a verdict? We have, Your Honor. On the charge of murder in the first degree, how do you find? We find the defendant, Brandon Michael Cole, guilty. Michael Torres broke down, sobbing. Rosa Martinez held her daughters. On kidnapping? Guilty. Brandon showed no reaction. Sentencing was held July 19, 2024. Rosa Martinez addressed the court through tears. My daughter dedicated her career to helping people, even those she had to fire. She treated Brandon with respect. He repaid her by strangling her to death because his ego couldn't handle consequences of his own failures. He's a coward who destroyed my family because he refused to take responsibility. Michael Torres spoke, voice shaking. I will never marry Jennifer. I will never have our children. Brandon took everything because he was fired for documented performance issues. He murdered an innocent woman because he couldn't accept he wasn't good enough at his job. Judge Brennan delivered sentence. Mr. Cole, You murdered Jennifer Martinez not in self-defense, not in passion, but because you blamed her for consequences of your own poor performance. You planned her death, you purchased supplies, you researched how to hide her body, you strangled her while she begged for her life, then you buried her and fled. For murder in the first degree, I sentence you to life in prison without parole. For kidnapping, 40 years consecutive, you will die in prison, Mr. Cole. And you will die knowing you destroyed your own life just as surely as you destroyed Jennifer's. Brandon Cole was led, out in handcuffs. He never apologized. He never looked at Jennifer's family. He never showed remorse. Outside the courthouse, Rosa and Miguel Martinez stood with their daughters and Michael Torres. They held each other in silence, carrying grief that justice had acknowledged but could never heal. Jennifer Martinez was 32. She had a career she loved, a family that adored her, and a future stolen by a man who couldn't accept responsibility for his own failures. Brandon Cole will spend the rest of his life in a Colorado state prison, exactly where he belongs.